turn now to college football, because this got interesting. Alabama head coach Nick Saban went right after one of his main rivals last night, calling out Texas A&M for, quote, buying its top-ranked signing class. Saban last night was touching on the impact of name, image, and likeness. Take a listen.
We were second in recruiting last year. A&M was first. A&M bought every player on their team, made a deal for name, image, and likeness. All right, we didn't buy one player. All right, but I don't know if we're going to be able to sustain that in the future because more and more people are doing it. Yeah. So it's tough.
Wow. Wow. How about that? Bringing in Paul Finebaum to talk about that, our ESPN college football analyst. Paul, what is your reaction to Saban and these comments calling out Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M?
Ryan, I am gobsmacked by what he said, not because I haven't heard him insinuate that privately, but for Nick Saban, the greatest coach of all time, to go public and accuse one of his biggest rivals of essentially cheating, although that's open for interpretation, is really stunning. He has insinuated this in the past, but one thing you have to remember about Nick Saban, he always is complimentary toward everyone else, even when you know it's passive aggressive. But this was way off script. He's been leading toward this for some time, but that volcano erupted last night.
It sure did. How worried do you think Saban is that this could impact Alabama's dominance?
Well, I think he's very worried. Let's remember a couple of things. He lost to Jimbo Fisher last year in College Station, first time he had ever lost to one of his assistants. He lost a national championship game to another assistant. And now you have a new force in recruiting. And some people will say, well, Alabama has everything going for them. They do. They put more players through the pros. They do this, they do that. However, they do not have as deep a pockets to buy players as Texas A&M. Texas A&M is an oil-rich state. Alabama is not. And I think that's what really concerns Saban here. These new collectives, which are way too complicated to explain in a short period of time, are giving boosters the right to go out and bring players in, even though it's technically against the NCAA rules. But Ryan, guess what? There's no such thing as NCAA rules anymore. It's the wild, wild west. The NCAA really doesn't care, despite what they say. So if you want to cheat, it's open season.
Man. Where are we now? And I'm so glad you made that point about Alabama. I have to admit, the first time I heard this sound, I'm like, you're calling Texas A&M out for buying players. Can't you do the same? Wouldn't you be in the same position? It's interesting to see the diversity in terms of who has what kind of money. Saban also called out Jackson State and Deion Sanders. Take a listen to this.
We have a rule right now that says you cannot use name, image, and likeness to entice a player to come to your school. Hell, read about it in the paper. I mean, Jackson State paid a guy $1 million last year that was a really good Division I player to come to the school. It was in the paper, and they bragged about it. Nobody did anything about it.
And so you better believe Coach Prime responded to that. You best believe I will address that lie, capital letters lie, Coach Saban told tomorrow. I was awakened by my son, Shandor Sanders, that sent me the article stating that we paid Travis Hunter Jr. $1 million to play at the school. We as a people do not have to pay our people to play with our people. Paul, what do you make of Saban calling out Deion Sanders?
That's even more surprising than what I just got through saying about Jimbo Fisher. Why are you going after Deion Sanders? He took that player from Florida State, his own alma mater, Ryan. That's a stunning comment. What was really interesting about Nick Saban, who just turned 70, he's giving newspapers credibility. I worked at a newspaper for 30 years. Nobody ever gave us credibility. So Saban is basically saying, I read it in the paper, therefore it is true. He has no earthly idea whether Jack State bought that player or not. And I think that was really an unbelievably stupid comment by Saban. It was egregious, and there's no way of knowing whether that's true or not.
Real quick, Paul, you think he tries to walk any of this back?
How can you? I mean, you can over the loudspeaker clean up on aisle 3, but then you have to go to aisle 4, aisle 5, aisle 6, and aisle 7. This is an absolute disaster for Nick Saban. He cannot clean it up. He said it. He owns it.
I cannot believe it, and I have to ask myself, why now? Why did he say it? But I'm sure we will find that out very soon. Paul Finebaum, always great to talk to you, my friend. Take care.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.